You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real
deal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. This is Strictly for the Music Podcast. I'm your host, DJ SKN. And that's just a guy live and direct. Started freestyling when he was 12. Influences such as Biggie Smalls, Nas, Nirvana, the Beatles, and xxxtentacion. He is into the drill scene, whether it's UK or NYC. Debuting his first EP, Florida's Finest, I Fly, and back again, Florida's Finest, Volume 2. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Fuego.
Florida's Finest in the building. Hey,
hell yeah, dog.
On your platform, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on the platform and giving us an in-depth look into your life, big dog. So let's get right into it. Describe your music from the beginning, man.
I'd like to start out by not only saying thank you again for letting me on your platform and that this is some dope, underrated content that I've been peeping into. I discovered a lot of other artists that I didn't even know about that are not only in my area, but the surrounding areas and whatnot. I just wanted to salute you for that. But to answer your question, it all started when I was real young, and my mom, and she was in a band, and she everybody around me was pretty musical in that aspect, but mainly my mother. And from there, I really just gravitated towards hip hop, being with playing basketball in school and just hanging out with, the group of kids that I was hanging out with, whatever you want to call it. That's just kind of something we gravitated towards. But I kind of verged away from the path whenever it was obvious that I respected the craft of hip hop, like the original hip hop, like talking about Rakim, Eric B, Nas, and Biggie, like how you previously mentioned in my bio. But yeah, I mean that would be where it started at, and just the overwhelming passion for just the art and the craft, and that's really what's given me this start in music that has only yet to really begin.
Oh yeah, man, that's dope. Okay, so let me ask you this, man. So you debuted like 3 years ago with a song called Benji and Kick Door Freestyle.
Yes, sir.
Give us, can you elaborate on that, man?
Yeah, well, first off, I'd like to say free Kick Door, because he currently he's locked up right now in Florida, and on some bogus charges about some burglary and whatever, but he's coming out soon, and he's the first guy I ever started publishing music with. I was always freestyle with my friends whenever we would smoke and just hang out after school or skip school or whatever we would get into. But Kickdoor, his real name is Darian. We were the first guys that ever, in my circle of friends, to start, getting a laptop and then get the microphone and then try to experiment with the whole recording process and mixing and mastering on Audacity, if you can believe it or not. That's actually what I started recording off of.
Oh yeah. All right, man. So shortly after that, what was the response like, man?
The response was very supportive from my family and friends and whatnot, but it was always that I needed to get better at producing, and I realized that you're only as strong as your weakest link, obviously. So I had to keep getting better every day, and that's still the mission. I'm just having fun with it, and I take it very serious. But at the end of the day, if it's not fun, then you're not doing it the right way. And I'm definitely having fun, and I'm getting better every day. So that's about all I could ask for at this point.
Oh yeah, man. All right, man. So during the time that you had dropped your freestyle, your debut single, and until you hit your first single off the EP, bro. During that time, man, what were you going through at that time, man?
Really just trying to get on my feet. really, I was in between jobs, just trying to grow or graduate from a boy to a man. I moved out onto my own for the second time, being I was like 18 or some shit at the time, 18, 19, something like that. So I owed my dad like $1,000, some shit. I had to go pay him back off and whatnot. I was borrowing money just to pay the light bill and whatnot, and ended up getting a job as a shovel guy at some landscape company that also does site work and grading and shit like that. And eventually I moved up to being a heavy equipment operator within 2 to 3 years. So that's pretty much all it took. I was working a lot of late hours and whatnot, so it didn't really give me a lot of free time. But once I started cutting back on the hours a little bit and I had some more free time on my hands, the passion that I have towards just music and making it and the writing process and everything, the whole grind, I love it. And it gravitated, you know what I mean? It had a pull for me, pulled me back in.
All right, man. Hell yeah. All right. So, let me ask you this, man. During that time when you're trying to get back on your feet and everything, what was your goals as trying to be an artist, bro?
Really, I didn't have really many goals as to be an artist between when I first dropped that debut freestyle with Kick Door back in 2017 or whatever it was. From there, I really wasn't thinking too much about music. I was really just getting money and hanging out with my friends, and yeah, I really wasn't focused too much on that. I'm probably chasing girls, you know how it is, but you know what I mean, that was part of me growing up, that whole phase right there. And I didn't really, it was kind of boring, I guess. I mean, but I guess I just sit home and play video games whenever I wasn't at work or some shit like that. So I really didn't have shit going on, but the anxiety that I would get from just sitting around and not doing shit, that the only way I could really relieve that is by, you know what I mean, writing and getting that shit off of your chest and out of your head in some way or another. So I found music to be a great relief for me. And while I was going through some, you know what I mean, anger issues or whatever, I might have started writing, and then I found that, you know what I mean, this is really what I should be doing, because whenever I play 2K or Call of Duty or whatever, you know what I mean, I can't take that game with me, but I could always take the song with me to the next day and the next week, and then you could show somebody the song and then they could think it's dope or not, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people that I showed, I got good feedback from, so that was obviously more motivation to keep making music. But it kind of, I know you didn't really ask this, and I'm sorry if I'm blabbering on a little bit, but I just remembered I had started making music again after that freestyle I had with Kick Door. And a big motivation for me was I seen Lil Pump, and no disrespect to Lil Pump or nothing like that, but I seen how easy he made hip hop look, or rap. I would say rap. I would differentiate the two between hip hop and rap. I would look at Lil Pump and more modern sounds like that with less skill. Like I said, no disrespect, but it has much less skill than a Nas or a Biggie. You know what I mean? There's more art to the hip hop as opposed to the later. Anyway, the point is, with Lil Pump being from Florida like myself, and you know, I mean, he seems like a cool, funny, goofy guy, but I mean, I don't really like the goofy sense, you know what I'm saying? But I do respect his artiste, if you will, you know what I mean? But he, like I said, he made it look really easy, and I believe that if he can do it, why not me? Similar to what Derrick Rose said before he won the MVP in 2011. I feel like if I'm not getting my dates mixed up.
That's dope, man. Hell yeah. All right, man. So man, I guess you say you were kind of inspired by how easy it looked, like Little Pump did his craft. But on your end, man, what's gonna make you different from the other artists in Florida, big dog?
Well, the biggest difference is the fact that how much I respect the roots of hip hop and the craft, and I would never do anything to disrespect the art form or to take a shortcut in the process in any way at all. I know that from watching interviews of great artists that came before me and whatnot, that you can't shortcut the process. You know what I'm saying? You got to just keep getting better every day. And if you don't love what you're doing, then you got to find something else to do. And I love what I do. So I know that, you know what I mean? It only makes sense that you keep doing something, you're going to get better at it. So you might as well find something you like doing and then just keep at it. And that's what I'm doing.
That's dope, man. Hell yeah. All right, man. So you say that starting out, you weren't really focusing on having any goals in music. This was more therapeutic, man. So walk us through on what made you just do music and what was the relief like, dog? Was it like getting all your frustration out on the mic?
It wasn't so much of frustration as much as just whenever I'm sitting around and I'm not doing nothing, I just feel anxiety, like as if the world is passing me by. Whenever I got expelled from middle school, I was in like seventh grade or some shit like that. They had expelled me because I had too many referrals or some shit. So anyway, it wasn't nothing big. It wasn't like I was fighting in the school every day or brought like a firecracker for the back. I didn't do no crazy shit, but I just so much skipping class and getting ISS or like talking and throwing paper, just stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they said, fuck it, dude. You got to get out of here. So they expelled me and all my friends, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you could relate if you've ever been in jail or if you've ever been down in the dumps and like financially where your friends, you realize who your friends are and where their loyalty lies. It's not to sound too dramatic, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The ball keeps rolling. So when I got expelled from middle school, that's what I learned that at a young age. Is what I'm saying.
All right, man. All right, man. So growing up, man, what was the upbringing like, man, in Florida?
It was like it seemed like everybody wants to be a savage. It seemed like everybody sells weed and everybody is trying to scam people. But besides that, if you're not hanging out in those type of crowds or those circles or whatever, which it's not hard to avoid it, but it is there and it's kind of prevalent. But uh, not to get too deep into that because I really there's not too much I could comment on it when it comes to stuff like that. But the other stuff, I mean, it's either redneck or hood, man, and that's Florida for you. I mean,
That's dope. All
yeah,
right, man. All right,
that's
so go ahead, bro. I'm bad.
no, you good, man. I'll just reiterating. That's a good description of Florida. It's either hood or ghetto, and sometimes it's both.
Hell yeah, bro. All right. So let's go to I guess this is Florida's finest, right?
Yeah, that was the first project I've ever dropped. The idea of that whole it started with just a song where I started writing some shit and I had said Florida's finest in the song and I was like, damn, that's like gonna be one of my signature ad libs or some shit like that. And it just kind of stuck and I ended up making a t-shirt, the design around it. And yeah, one thing led to another and you know what I mean, I keep getting bigger and bigger with it. I mean, I don't got more than 500 followers on Facebook right now, but like I said, man, we're getting better every day, and I believe that you know what I mean. The fact that I respect hip hop like I do really differentiates me from everybody else, and
That's
yeah,
dope, man. All right, bro. So how many tracks are on this EP? Is it EP or an album, man?
I will call it EP, mixtape, whatever is appropriate. I wouldn't qualify it as an album. However, I have promoted it as such, considering that I have rights to use the beats, but I do not own the beats. So it's kind of up for discussion. I just call it a mixtape, just or a project to be safe.
All right, man. All right, man. So elaborate on For Real.
That was the first song that I felt like I made that was the easiest to listen to at the time that I made it. The first few songs I ever wrote, I thought they were cool, but at the point that's when I was really posting on SoundCloud. I probably started making music maybe 6 months before the song For Real got posted on SoundCloud. So I took the best of those SoundCloud songs and then I re-recorded it once I got a laptop and a microphone and a pair of headphones and whatnot, and started messing with Audacity and mixing on there. But before I was doing that, I was listening to the beats in the living room on the YouTube was pulled up on my TV, and then I would have the SoundCloud. You know how it has the recording button right on the side. So you go ahead, you hit record it, and then it's recording for SoundCloud. But you can't move the files, you can't edit it, you can't layer the track. You just got one take, and that's it. So I was playing the beats on the YouTube. So anyway, once I got the point where I could actually record it, mix it, master it, and layer it and whatnot, the way I had, at least seen people do it on YouTube and whatnot, then that's when I said, you know what, I need to take these songs. Probably had like 30 at the time. Took 25 of them or probably 24 maybe. And then I put them on YouTube. And For Real, I just felt like was the best one to start out and to set the tone for what was going to come after it.
All right, man. Hell yeah. All right, man. So, Booyah.
Booyah was that was my biggest song for a while. I mean, at some point I felt like I was never gonna be able to make a song as cool as Booyah, because everybody that I was hanging out with or showing the song to, they would all really gravitate towards that song. But yeah, I still felt like For Real was easier to listen to, at least in my opinion. But Booyah was just straight going in right from the get go, and you just got some good bars throughout the entire thing. Where For Real is just more dope and smooth and easier to listen to. But Booyah is definitely probably the dopest song on the whole project, to be honest.
Oh yeah, man. All right, man. So let's go to Mood, man.
Yeah, mood is just capturing what it says in the title, man. That was just how I was feeling at the time, and I was feeling good, man. If you listen to the track, then I'm sure you can tell by now.
That's dope, man. That's dope. All right. So let's hit Loaded.
Yeah, Loaded was a big experimental track for me, as I've never really done anything screaming or yelling or in a different pitch other than just my normal real talking voice. But yeah, that jump was so hard, I had to put it up there at track number 4.
That's dope, dog. All right, man. So we're getting different variations of this album, right?
Yeah, man, it's kind of all over the place, but as you mentioned earlier, you could draw the inspiration, you could see it if you're looking for the alternative rock, grunge, old school hip hop, modern drill. I mean, you could just see it all in there if you really squint and turn your head a little bit, I guess. But I don't know, man. I love music, and I love the originality that I feel like is behind my music as well.
Bro, would you say that 2020 was one of your biggest years so far? Or is it the biggest year?
It's got to be my biggest year, because it was really the first year that I was going from start to finish. Where in 2017, it was really like a maybe a 3-month span, and then it just fell off for like 2-3 years. So it would have to be 2020.
So what does it feel? What does it feel like to be back, bro?
I really just feel like I'm starting. It doesn't feel like
You even
I'm
started?
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to start. It's about to start soon. There's really nothing on my mind except for just getting better every day and just keep having fun with it. I'm kind of like, to compare it to something like a lion, like chasing down a zebra, and the zebra is progress, and that's really all I'm after right now. Just keep getting better.
That's dope, dog. All right, man. So let's go to Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel was a song I got a little bit personal on it. It's kind of emotional, but it still got that melodic, dope, catchy hook, all that shit that, you know what I mean, you're going to want on a song. But I shouted out my boy Kickdoor, KD, I refer to him as a lot of times, and as I did in this song. And yeah, you got to check it out, man. It's definitely something that is different. I mean, you can see the old school lyricism in all of my songs, but when you combine that raw lyrical ability and just like the passion for writing that I got, and then you combine that with all this modern, this aroma around it, it really complements it well and makes it very unique. And Diesel was a good example of that.
Bullets Flying.
Bullets Flying was just, that was probably one of my biggest songs on SoundCloud. Probably got like 600 or something views relatively quickly, and it was just some catchy shit. I was feeling. I mean, I started freestyling or something. You write down the freestyle, you record that shit just to see if it's hot or not, and then once you listen to it play back on the speaker, you start dancing to it. You know you got to finish it.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Yeah, dog. You care if you go through all these songs on this interview, or you want to just cut it down?
Shit, we can do whatever you want to do, man. I
Right.
really all the songs are real personal to me. Every single song I try to. I mean, sometimes of course, like, you know, I mean, you might say that you caught a body, right? I've never claimed to do that in a song, but just for an example, if you claim to catch a body or dump them in the river or something like that, a lot of times it's really just like artistic exaggeration, and it's still, there's a point around it, but it's not like the point might be if you mess with my family or something like that, you'll get, you know what I mean, dumped in the river or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like sometimes you got to look between the lines and whatnot. With my art, my songs, there's definitely between the line messages in there, and I try to just make it sound like something that it's not like when somebody listening to it playing it back, they're not thinking like, okay, this is the Tyler Morrison story. You know what I mean? They can be like, you know what, this is, I can relate to this myself, being, you know what I mean, somebody else. And yeah, that's really what I go for on every single song. I try to just make it personal, and at the same time also making it just sound dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. All right, bro. Well, check it out, dog. Well, since I don't know what your schedule's like, dog. So I don't want to go through every song and keep up your time. So I'm just hit every other song. All right.
You can do whatever you want, man. I got all night. I don't give a
All
shit.
right. Hell yeah, dog. All right, sweet. All right,
Hey man,
man. So let's
this
go
is
to
this is
what's
strictly
that?
for music, baby. We gotta represent out here. We gotta put on for
Oh,
the.
hell yeah, dog. That's what's up. All right, man. So let's go to Florida's finest, man.
Like I mentioned earlier, man, that was the song where I started writing to it. It was just one of those things where you start freestyling and you write it down and it sounds dope. You know you got to finish it. One of my bars that I threw in there was something about Florida's finest, and that's really what started this whole brand I've been trying to make or plant the seeds for over the course of 2020. And yeah, man, I mean, it's a dope song. I still go back and listen to all of those tracks from Florida's Finest Volume 1, but that one particularly, man, it's real easy to listen to, and it's still unique, man. You can't really compare it to nobody else.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. All right, man. So let's go to Glock.
Glock was one of those ones that you could tell right off the rip that this dude listened to some rock and roll in his day. Because I mean, you coming out the gate, you're basically yelling or screaming on the mic, whatever you call it, and it doesn't really get no smooth real part. I mean, it's hard all the way throughout, but it's not like screaming all the way throughout, but it's definitely on some Florida drill shit the entire time.
All right, dope, man. Dope. All right. So come on over.
Come On Over was something else that you would definitely say was rock inspired grunge, probably Nirvana specifically. But yeah, man, that was pretty soft. really just, you know what I mean, I guess a tune for the ladies, to put it lightly, I guess. But I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, you know what I mean, the majority of my demographic, my artist, my viewership or whatever is like 70% dudes. So you know what I mean, a lot of the dudes I post that check out my music, they're not fucking with that type of shit. But I don't think so, at least. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's a couple of them that like it, but I do it because I like it, and you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's if I like it, then that's good enough for me. I'll post that motherfucker.
Right. State of mind.
Yeah, I was speaking on some topics that were relevant to the culture at the time, being some school shootings, some dude, I think Dylan Roof or whatever, done shot up a church over in Charlottesville or some shit like that. I could have that mixed up. Sorry if I do, but anyway, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about at least. So just stuff like that, you know what I mean? You just want to talk. You want to put those things in its rightful place, man. You want to. None of that stuff is cool. And I also talk about how, you know, I mean, a lot of kids my age or young adults, whatever you prefer, are really gravitate toward drugs and sex and alcohol is just like an escape from reality, where they don't really want to put in the work at nothing. They don't even want to go to a job, you know what I mean, much less come home from the job and then write for hours and then watch videos on how to learn what a fucking EQ is or any of that shit. So I don't know. That right there really goes together with that. Well, is how I would sum that up.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So 10 plus 90.
Yeah, that was just some more. A lot of these answers are going to sound the same, but that doesn't take away any of the uniqueness of the songs themselves. They all are different in approach, and I wish I was better at describing it. But it's really all stems from just trying to put my personal experiences in life and what I see around me, and try to make it sound dope at the same time. So where, you know, I mean, you or I could listen to it and catch a vibe, smoke with the homie type shit, ride in the car or whatever.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. All right, man. So let's go to the last song on the EP mixtape, big dog. Strawberry Juice.
Strawberry Juice. I remember I wrote that shit over at my dad's house whenever I was waiting for him to get back from his girlfriend or whatever. I just so happened to be in the area. I called him. He said he was about 15 minutes out. I got there before him. I ended up waiting for like an hour in the driveway. So I was just hotboxing my truck and just like, you know what I mean, listening to beats. Next thing you know, Strawberry Juice came about. It wasn't really about anything too specific. Uh, just just one of those things that you can catch a tune to, catch a vibe.
Hell yeah, man. All right. So let's go to visual.
Visual. Yeah, that was part of a project I dropped after Florida's Finest called Progression, and they're really just talking about how I see myself and the career and the growth of the brand that I'm starting going over the next year or two or 5 or 10 or however long.
Hell yeah, man. All right. So what made you name it Progression, dog?
Well, as one could assume, that was the thing on my mind the most at the time is just getting better. I knew that I didn't have all the pieces put together, the main weakest link being the production side of things, but I didn't really have no big homie to teach me no shit like that. So I really just had to YouTube it, or, you know what I mean, just mess around with it and figure it out. I mean, there's a lot of helpful guys on Facebook and certain groups and whatnot if you find the groups. But I mean, you got to put in time to look for the videos to figure this shit out. You got to watch the videos, and you're gonna waste a lot of time watching the wrong shit and reading articles that are irrelevant to you because of some processing system or some minute detail that you overlook. There's so much shit that goes into it, man, but you either love the challenge or you don't. And I love it, and that was part of why I titled the whole project Progression, just because that was, like I said, the main thing at the time and still is, but back then it was really the only thing on my mind.
Oh yeah, man. So, was this released months right after you dropped your debut mixtape?
Yeah, man. Well, I was writing every day, and I didn't really post every single song I made, but yeah, when I'm writing every day, the songs come. So yeah, I ended up posting like 3 projects in a month, and I kept that pace up throughout all of 2020. Basically, I dropped like 150 songs.
Yeah, bro. This is man. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we went through your whole catalog right now, bro, you have just so much content, bro. You just started doing this last year, right?
Yeah, really, I would say last year, serious. I mean, the seeds were planted in 2017, but they started to get water and nutrients and all that shit around 2020. I mean, 2019, I was writing. I was writing for like half the year, and I was putting these songs together. I was composing, and I got 30. But like once I picked those 25, by that point, I was, I was cherry picking the best songs I had, and I was doing it for a minute at that point, so being damn near a year. So yeah, I was getting pretty good at it, I felt like, and yeah, everybody that I would show this shit to, even strangers on the side of the street type shit, they would even say that they fuck with it. So to me, I felt like I had no option but to keep going.
All right, all right, Fuego. All right, so let's jump to Camelo.
Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite songs, man. That shit's so hard. You remember whenever, I don't know if you keep it, you fuck with the NBA?
Yeah.
Alright, so whenever everybody was hating on Carmelo, even Stephen A. Smith, that's his boy, he didn't even believe in Carmelo that he had any game left or that he was even a Hall of Famer. Then he gets signed to a 10-day contract or whatever to Portland, and he's just balling over there. So that's what I felt like. I felt like people were sleeping on me, similar to how they would on Carmelo. And I wasn't mad about it or nothing. But you know what I'm saying? You just use things like that to drive you as a competitive person like me, or like how I'm sure Melo took it. And that's just, I mean, I felt like I embodied, I went Carmelo on him. Lil Wayne got that song Kobe, and
Yeah.
I think Drake got a LeBron James freestyle or some shit like that, and I just kind of did a play off of that. I like to show respect to the fathers of hip hop, the ones that came before me, all of them. Not that Lil Wayne was the father of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people came before him, but Lil Wayne having such a big impact, of course it, it reached out to me being in Florida and whatnot. So yeah, you could say that was a little twist off of Lil Wayne on Kobe.
So, all right, hell yeah. So this was right after you did Progression, right?
Yeah, that I think that would be part of Nonchalant Volume 1. And yeah, that was pretty much in the same month as, if not the next month, as the Progression. Yeah.
All right, hell yeah, man. All right, so move to Miami, man.
Yeah, hey, I remember a couple of the homies did not like that one, man, but I had some good feedback from the ladies on that one, and you know what I mean, man, any song I post, I'm dancing to it while I'm recording this shit and mixing it and whatnot. If I can't dance to it, or at least give it a little head bob, get into it, then I ain't posting it, man. But Move to Miami, that was a dope track for me. I know a couple people didn't like it, but fuck 'em.
All right, man. So, Super Pronto.
Yeah, definitely got to be one of my best songs. I think for a long time, it had the most views on my channel until I dropped I Fly and Meadows of My Life took over that title. But yeah, it's just dope. I mean, it's got a catchy hook. It's got bars for days. Talking about Florida, Dwayne Wade, even all types of shit. It was inspired a little bit by Pop Smoke song PTSD. A little bit for sure, but not too much. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite songs for sure. Definitely, it's I believe the second song on the Best of 2020 playlist that I put together last week.
Yeah.
It's dope.
You got a lyric video to it, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You got a lyric video to it?
Yeah, it was so dope when I made it. But that was the EP. I had remastered it and re-recorded it and whatnot. But yeah, for the EP, I was like, damn, I can't just put a picture to this. I gotta take a video or do something. So
Right.
that's how the lyric video came out. I just downloaded some app on my phone where I could type the shit in and whatnot, and you know what I mean, just trying to figure out ways to provide doper content, experimenting.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man. All right, so Nonchalant, Impeccable.
Yeah, Impeccable was one of the quickest songs I ever wrote. I wrote this shit, recorded it, mixed it, posted it, all with, I mean, from first time hearing the beat on YouTube anyway, all within like 45 minutes tops. And I remember one of my childhood buddies, I used to call my brother. He wanted me to shout him out on the track, so I had made sure I threw in his name, Chandler Lennon, and yeah, just went from there, man. It was really easy to write, but it came out real fucking clean, man. Especially for the fact that I was still mixing on Audacity. That joint sounded clean.
Oh yeah, man. All right, so I gotta ask you this, man. So during 2017 and 2020, man, would you say that time right there you were doing a lot of freestyling, man? Like, were you practicing your craft a lot more?
To be honest with you, man, no, I really wasn't. I kind of experimented with making music and recording myself, and it was dope. And I like the idea, I guess, with my friends that we were all gonna do it together, but nobody really wanted to do it. And then the one guy who kind of wanted to do it, he got locked up for years. So it was either me do it or it's not gonna get done. So I just enjoy doing it so much. The writing and the recording and the mixing, I fuck with all that shit. It's so cool to me. I like learning about this stuff. The whole thing is cool. But at that time, nah, I wasn't really doing nothing. I was really just listening to music, trying to get by in life. That was hard enough for me as it was. I mean, I wasn't really going through much, but you know, I mean, just working full time and trying to keep my head right and stay going on the straight and narrow or whatever you want to call it.
All right, man. So there ain't no collabs on this EP?
No, the first collab I got was from Casa Casa on, I believe, Florida's Finest Volume 1, where yeah, I wish you would have asked me about that track over there when we were talking about the track list, but that's something that I'd like to talk about. Just shout out to Casa Casa, man. He's a rapper in Central Florida, and he's really paved the way for any
Oh,
guy.
you're talking about never changing on progression, bro.
Oh, it's on progression. Okay, so that's why I had it mixed up. My apologies. But anyway, that guy right there, he was a big inspiration for me, as my buddies used to listen to him a few years ago, and the fact that I was able to get him to collaborate with me, man, that was a real blessing, and I appreciate that guy for working with me. He was really cool. And like I said, man, what I was saying before is there's nobody from where I'm from that's done it like he's done it. I mean, that guy's to me he's big time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he might not say he's big time. He's pretty humble himself, but I mean, he's been big time for me for years to come, and I didn't even really think that I would ever get the chance to work with a guy like that. But yeah, it was really cool, really good experience.
Oh yeah, man. All right. So let's go back to progression, man. All right, I'm gonna ask you about Dangerous with Sony Scars.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Dangerous featuring Sony Scars, or is it Sorry Scars?
Oh yeah, yeah. Dane, that was a collaboration I had with somebody who was really just a supporter that I found that was really dope off of Instagram. The guy he told me he was fucking with my music, and that you know what I mean, he always showed love, liking or commenting on the post that I would put up. So it only seemed right to whenever I seen that he was doing some shit that I thought I could definitely get on. I wrote that at the beginning of that one song. I sent it over to him. I asked him what he thought, and he jumped on it, and we made magic on it.
That's dope, dog. Hell yeah. All right, so let's jump to See You Again.
See You Again with
Yeah.
Ashley. That was the beginning of Fire and Ash, and really the beginning of Florida's Finest taking a turn from being an idea and starting to be a brand, and when it really became a brand, and Ashley has helped that come to fruition a lot through his just energy that he always put behind not only his music, but he believed in not only himself but the brand as well, and I appreciate him for that. And he was just a dope person to even be around. I mean, he's gone right now in Pennsylvania helping out his mother. God bless her, and you know what I mean, whatever she's dealing with, I won't go into that. But he's over there helping her right now, and he's gonna be back in Florida soon, and he's gonna be hitting the music hard. He just dropped a song called "Always a Baller." I'll go ahead and uh, leave a link on my page over on Florida's Finest, Fuego on YouTube. You can go ahead and check it out from there. And yeah, he's doing his own thing over on his own YouTube account. He's going crazy with it. Yeah, I'm really happy for the guy.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So, Heart in My Knee.
Heart in My Knee was probably my biggest song after I dropped Booyah. For a while, it was kind of like a pop rap song, some type of mix like that. But it was really inspiring in the hook where I'm basically just leading up to and talking about the struggles that one might go through and the trials and tribulations that have specifically happened to me. And then I keep bouncing back to the hook saying that I got to keep my heart in my knee, a reference to Kodak song Calling My Spirit, when he says on the opening line, he said, I put my heart in my leg, I gave it all I could give. So I did a play off that and said, I put my heart in my knee. And then it says, keep Going, because keep going is kind of like my signature ad lib or motto or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it kind of just came together. The stars aligned on that one as well. I mean, that one was really dope. especially being a softer song, because I don't really make soft music often at all, but that one was definitely dope.
All right, man. Hell yeah. All right, so jump into Spaceman.
Spaceman is probably, yeah, after Heart My Knee, that one was my biggest song for a while. That until I dropped Meadows of My Life. And then after that, I haven't been able to get more views on a specific video than that. However, I did get this one song called That's Okay that I also got Ashley on. That's probably my best song at the moment, being that it was released after Meadows of My Life, so it hasn't really been out as long neither. But I also, not a single dime was spent on advertisement for that song at all, and it just got 700 views, just being floating out there on Facebook practically. And yeah, me and Ashley are very proud of that. That's a masterpiece right there. We both feel like.
Dope, man. Dope. All right. So let's go to Don't Go There.
Yeah, that's just me and Ash. Just the when we first started writing together, you know what I mean. Those were one of the first songs that we wrote, and it just, you know what I mean. Like I said, I was catching a vibe in the studio. You already know I was dancing, I was head bobbing, I was doing all that. So from there, you know what I mean. We had to put it out, and for me, it's real important to keep putting out dope content and to keep being original and whatnot, keep having fresh ideas and fresh approaches and whatnot. And Ash added a whole another side of the content that I was putting out. I mean, he offered a much more rock and roll type of range, and even some pop, like Michael Jackson type shit. But it was crazy. So yeah, I had to work with that guy. I seen him on the internet playing guitar, singing a song one day, and I hit him up in the DM. And I was like, "Hey, bro, you should come over to the studio. Let's go ahead and work." And Don't Go There was probably the second, if not the third song that we ever even wrote together.
All right. Hell yeah, man. All right. So Lose Control.
Yeah, that was a song I had somebody that was not close to me, but I went to school with them. Pretty popular in my area. They died in a car accident, tragically. And it was just you know what I mean, it's something about where I tied in uh, driving reckless with my aspirations, I guess, of being an artist and whatnot, and just how you can lose control a lot easier than you think about shit like that, and just keeping a level head and kind of a reminder to myself, if you will, as a lot of my music, you know what I mean, like whenever I'm feeling down or some shit like that, I'll listen to some of my music, and always talks about keep going and putting in work and has some fun, catchy way that, you know what I mean, and also lyrical at the same time. It just, I don't know, it just makes me feel good. Period.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope, man. So let's go to Meant to Stay.
Mentis Day. What is, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm mishearing you. What are you saying?
Meant to Say.
Oh yeah, Meant to Say. That was the first song I ever got bodied on. Ash killed me on that song. I thought I did good, but he definitely did better than me on that song. That shit's dope as fuck. It's some soft stuff, as you could probably tell by the title, but it's dope, man. You got to make songs for the ladies every once in a while.
Dope, man. Hell yeah. So All Night.
All Night, just another track that really just stems from talking about relationship, ups and downs throughout my life, and uh, kind of relating it to like a high school dance type of uh, scheme or scene or whatever.
All right, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Summertime Vibe.
Summertime Vibes, that's got to be one of the the most good feedback songs I've ever gotten. It was really when I started to learn how to mix and master. I mean, I don't want to say that that's when I got good at it, because looking back, I'm definitely not good at it. But during that time, I was learning a lot about the mixing and mastering, and music was very important. But the production was by far my priority at just getting better. And the only way I was going to be able to get better is to just keep practicing. It's not like I got a line of people over in Crystal River, Citrus County, wanting to work in the studio and whatnot. So I had to record shit myself, and yeah, that's part of that. Just the everyday working on it, and you pick the best of songs that you got in the program, and yeah, I believe that was the first track of Fuego Meets the World.
All right, man. That's dope, man. So let's go to I Fly, one of your hottest tracks on your YouTube channel, Meadow. Meadow.
The Meadows of My Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be one of my favorite songs. That was the longest break that I took throughout the entire year of 2020, and that was whenever I had made major upgrades to my studio and put in a lot of work mixing and mastering, but I wasn't posting and stuff because I knew I had to get better. Like I was getting to the point where like I had some like what I felt like were hit songs, but you know what I mean? People can't even really hear it the right way. So I had to do something, and I had to do it quick. So I spent the next 3 months working real hard, getting better at the mixing and mastering process. Meadows of My Life was the best song I felt like to start out, set the tone for my old school type of album being I Fly. And yeah, that shit is a banger. Even my pops listens to that shit every once in a while. I know pops, mom and pops, they don't really like to listen to my music too much, but they still support me. But even my dad gives me credit on Meadows of My Life being a good tune.
Hell yeah, man. That's dope, bro. Orlando.
Probably one of my hardest songs that I've ever posted. It's not like no screaming or no shit like that, but it's just raw. I mean, you just feel the energy right from the get go, and it doesn't really let up neither. Plan on making a music video for it too, not too long, but yeah, it's coming soon.
Unhooked.
Yeah, that was another song I got with Ashley. It was originally gonna be the intro, but ended up making it the outro because it just really fit much better than being the intro. Yeah, it's really all just stems off of just old school hip hop, just bars and putting the pen I don't know, just flexing the pen game. Really, I mean that's really the whole niche with I Fly. I really just wanted to prove something and do things that I felt like not everybody could do. I feel like it's real easy to freestyle over a trap beat, but not everybody can spit nothing on no Nas beat or whenever you don't got that 808 or a whole bunch of guitar or some shit in the beat saving you. You know what I mean? You kind of on an island out there by yourself, and it's sink or swim.
That's dope, man. So let's go to Never Settle.
I'm sorry, I gotta light up the joint real quick. Yeah,
Oh, you're good, dog. Take your time, man.
no, Never Settle was a song I wrote at work. Yeah, I'm sure the boss would love to hear this, but yeah, I wrote it in between loading up dump trucks over at work, There really isn't much to it besides that. But it was probably the best song I've ever written outside of my normal working space.
Too official.
You said Ambition?
Too official.
Yeah, Too Official. I remember I went up as soon as I made it. I walked down the street, went over to Ash's house, and I asked him. I was like, "Hey man, can you go ahead and put this in your speakers real quick? I'm trying to hear what it sounds like." And when he heard it, he said that was my best sounding mix. And at the time, it was for sure. Because I had really started to figure out how to use the stock plugins that I had available to me at the time. And yeah, it's a really good, dope song. It's kind of hard, kind of just catchy. Really, just another thing you just catch a vibe to. Really.
That's dope, man. Hell yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, that's the dopest song. I feel like I got on the whole page, man. That's okay. It's a song I made with Ash that everything really just came together that day. I mean, we've probably written about 30 songs together, maybe 20, but That's Okay is definitely the best song, and that's the one that we had to go over and we had to take that to the professional studio, man, to go get that junk sounding as good as it can. So shout out Thomas Swanson at Swan Beats on YouTube and Instagram. Go ahead, follow him. He's a producer from Gainesville or out of Gainesville right now. He's doing big things in the music business, man. That guy is real dope.
Hell yeah, big dog. All right. So, Smoking and Driving Part 2 featuring Dot Boy.
Yeah, that was the Dot Boy is Chandler Lennon, being the guy who I made that one song about, Impeccable, off of Nonchalant, Volume 1. And really, that's one of his first ever attempts to get in the studio and get some shit cracking. He doesn't even really love his performance on that song. He don't feel like he did as good as he could have done. But I feel like the singing or whatever that I do and the rapping that he got on there really complements each other well, and it's a dope piece.
Dope, bro. Hell yeah. Who to trust?
Hold on, apologies, man. Give me a second.
No, you're good, big dog. Don't worry about it.
All right, so who to trust? That's got to be just something about not being able to trust people like you think you can, whether it's a past relationship or whether it's your childhood friends that you think are your brothers. It's all relevant, and it's just me, a song where I'm putting all that into a tune.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, bro. So, you write a lot, bro, or most of these freestyles, or like, what is the creative process like, bro?
It's every single time. It's usually the same. One of three ways, really. Sometimes it's a freestyle, you know what I mean? But a lot of times it's me sitting down and I'm listening to beats. Sometimes I have an idea of what I want to write. Sometimes I don't. But I just start writing, really. I mean, basically, you're just freestyling with a pen instead of a mic. And you just freestyle. Maybe you'll write 3 different hooks for a song until you finally find one that you're like, okay, this is it. And then you know what I mean? You just keep going. You keep figuring it out. You just keep rapping it over and over again. Sometimes I'll listen to the first 45 seconds of the beat 100 times. And then soon enough, you'll get sick of it. You know what I mean? But you just keep rapping your part over and over again, or doing this freestyle and changing words on it, or maybe you scrap it, throw it in the trash, and try to write something new. You just want to work and you want to keep working and make sure you're having fun. So a lot of times I'll just be sitting at my home like I am right now in front of my computer, and I'll just be listening to beats and I'll just write like I am right now. But Other times you'll just get a freestyle with no beat at like say you'll be at work and you'll just say something that sounds catchy as hell, and then you'll just be like, "Ooh, I gotta write that down." And then whenever you're back in there listening to beats and whatnot, say you can't think of nothing to rap on, then you go through your notes and you see all these little one liners or a little like half a hook you might have wrote from the past, and you say, "Damn, I need to use this," and then you'll figure out a beat that it goes on that, and yeah, those are really the only three ways that I've made music in the past.
Oh, bro.
Besides back in 2017, I made a beat, made a couple beats, but they were trash, and they were nowhere near as good as what these other guys are doing out here. So I had to cut back on the beats and focus on what I was good at and master that first.
All right, man. So let's go to Meaning of Life.
Yeah, that was another song that I definitely got outclassed on by my boy Ash. He killed it on there. I thought I killed it, but he really killed it on there. You got to see it to believe it. But the guy's flow is just ridiculous. I mean, it's incomprehensible. You can't compare it to nothing. It's crazy. It's something you definitely got to check out. And I set the tone. I basically set the dude up with an alley oop, and he windmill 360 between the legs, dunked that bitch.
Hell yeah, dog. All right, man. So Dollar Bills featuring Dot Boy.
Yeah, that was another song that I had wrote the hook. A lot of times, the songs that I either get on or somebody else gets on with me or whatnot, I'll start out by writing it, and then I'll show somebody an idea, and then we'll just go from there. Where sometimes they'll take over, sometimes I'll take lead and go ahead and help the dude out, whoever it is. But yeah, me and Dot Boy, we had spent all night working on that. Where I had already had my hook done, but it took him all night to get that verse written and recorded the way that he wanted it to be. But overall, I would say it was worth it. And I mean, we got some more dope content out there for the fans, so that it was all worth it in the end.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so when I hit my first lick, dog.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest songs that I dropped in the end of 2020. I wanted to put it on Florida's Finest Volume 2, but it didn't make the cut for whatever reason. I guess it was just the timeline didn't really match up right, where I just had to post something, and that ended up being it. And it was part of Omega. I think that was the last project I dropped in 2020. And yeah, that was some I say weird shit, but it's weird in a good way. It's definitely like it sounded like some like Rastafari shit on the hook.
Hell yeah.
For lack of a better description, man, that's what I gotta go with. And yeah, I mean, you got some inspiration from Kodak on there, talking about riding around in the whip, clutching iron, bumping Kodak. You know what I mean? It just gives you an idea of what it's like in Florida. I mean, what
Hell
my
yeah, dog.
experience is in Florida, at least.
Dance in the Rain.
Yeah, that's some more experiences. You know what I mean? Like just throughout life, you know what I mean. You'll get ups and downs, but you know what I mean. Whether you getting rained on or whether you in the sun, man, you just gotta keep going, keep dancing, keep moving forward, and that song embodies that message about, you know what I mean, to keep going, to never stopping, and to, you know what I mean, just prevail.
Dope, bro. Hell yeah. So, Paradise, man.
Paradise is just one of those songs that I had sitting on my computer for a little bit, and it was dope. I always felt a good vibe to it, but I could never really finish it. I could never really write the next verse. So I ended up getting my boy on there, and he did his thing.
Hell yeah, bro. Dollar bill and a drink.
Yeah, that was a response to some rapper called Lil Philly from California, where he made some diss song and it was towards me. He didn't like what I said about some of his. We were gonna collab on some song, and he didn't like some of the stuff I was saying about how his ad libs sounded or whatever. I wanted him to turn down the ad libs or to reduce the peak or some shit like that, something really small. And the dude got insecure and started attacking me about it. And I was like, man, fuck all this shit, dude. I'm good. Like if the dude had like a fair criticism, I would have said it. But the dude didn't even respond to my shit, my criticism for him. He just started attacking me. You could just tell he was butthurt. Like I approached him professional about it, but you could just tell he was butthurt about it. And from there, he eventually made some diss song. I guess like a month or two later or whatnot, and he messaged me in the middle of the night, sent it to me, and I checked it out, and I went to work, and then I came home, and then Dollar Bill and a Dream happened, and I didn't take 2 months to write the shit, but I would say that it was a gazillion times better than his diss track, and I didn't even have to say no, I didn't say no corny shit. Like he said he was talking about how I was like, I need to go back to the trap or some shit like that. But if you even listen to my music, you know that I'm not from the trap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might have sold weed, but I never was operating in a trap, or you can't even like misidentify it as such. So a lot of the things he would just do like the typical shit where you just calling somebody like making gay jokes or some shit like that, like some middle school shit. So I didn't even want to put Lil Philly name in the diss track, but it definitely was a diss track aimed at him. But yeah, I didn't want to give him the credit of fucking putting his name in my title, so I did shout him out though in the beginning of the song just to make it clear. Right, I said shout out Lil Philly, and then I hawked a big old fat loogie and spit on the floor.
Damn, dog. Damn, dog. All right.
Had to do him like that though.
Hell yeah, dog. All right. So let's go to to Florida's Finest Volume 2, Parasite.
That was my best rock song to date. I would have to say that. I was having a shitty day. Me and my mom were texting over at like 8 o'clock in the night, and I was just laying in bed doing jack shit. And my mom said, "Fuck it, why don't you come over?" So I did. We all hung out. Me, my mom, my sister had a good time talking and just hanging out, catching up and whatnot. And I got home and it was about 12 o'clock. And I was pissed off because I had wanted to write and record all day long, but I just didn't feel like it for whatever reason. So I ended up getting pissed off. But when I got home at 12, I said I felt so inspired to make music, and I had to go to work in like 5 hours. But I said, fuck it, man. So I cracked open another Mountain Dew, turned on my computer, and started writing that shit. I found the beat, wrote it, recorded it, mixed it, all within 2 hours, and it came out great. And it really is like the most emotional song I've ever made, because it's really, I mean, that's all it is. It's just me putting my emotions on the track. It really ain't even about the bars and whatnot, but there's still bars in there, man. I can't make a song without bars, but it's really emotional for sure.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So Florida Drill, man.
Yeah, that would be whenever I was kind of turning the leaf, I feel like, about making my own unique approach to hip hop, where I'm trying to put a name on it and to go ahead and represent where my roots come from, and you know what I mean, just pay homage, show respect to the people who came before me, and do my own thing at the same time. And you know what I mean, it's really self-described after that. I mean, it's Florida Drill. if you're curious about Florida Drill, you're going to have to click on that and check it out.
Yeah, bro, it's a dope song, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, big dog. So moving on, man. On site.
Yeah, that was the original intro to Florida's Finest Volume 2 until I came up with the song Shaka Zulu. But on site, that jump's crazy. It's really just me putting in a tune basically what I just keep reiterating over and over again about the respecting hip hop and not taking no shortcut, no cornball approach to getting clout or whatever, because that's not what it's about for me. For me, it's just all about the art, and that's what I speak on in that song, and really just the whole song really just embodies what sets me apart from everybody else. Whenever you think about it, really.
That's dope, big dog. Hell yeah, man. So, how did you hook up with Craven Wolfblood?
Yeah, he's a dope rock and roll type of artist that I met through Ashley, and yeah, he's just always been a dope guy to me ever since I met him. He's just always got a good energy with him, real honest and sincere guy. You gotta fuck with people like that. And after listening to him do some vocals on one of Ashley's songs, I wanted to get him on a few of mine.
That's dope, big dog. All right, man. So, Shaka Zulu.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite song to date, man. I remember I had recorded that shit, and I didn't. Sometimes I write something, and if it's weird enough, I'm not sure if it's dope or if it's just weird. And that was one I had to send a snippet to a couple people, and I was like, man, is this dope or is this fucking whack? 'Cause I couldn't even tell at first. But after finishing that song, man, it's super dope, dude. Like I said, man, to be honest, it's probably my favorite song.
Oh yeah, man. So, man, so starting up, man, in 2020, man, doing all these projects, man, was this overwhelming?
No, I wouldn't say overwhelming. I always felt like it was just what I wanted to do, what I should have been doing the whole time. It's always fun. I like going to work every day. I like coming home. I like working on music. Really, what I feel like is for me.
That's dope, man. So let's go to Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, hey, if you follow the NBA, then you should know that when Kyrie had his little whatever, and he wasn't playing basketball for like the last 2 weeks or whatever the fuck he had going on, he referred to the media, the press, as peasants or pawns. No, it was pawns. To quote him correctly, he called them pawns. So he also called himself an artist, or yeah, he called himself an artist. So I started out that song by saying, if Kyrie's an artist, that means I'm a baller, but I'm not shooting Spalding. And you know, I mean, it just started from there, and it just kept going in about, you know, the Florida drill and all the stuff that pertains as such.
All right, man. So Fuego, Armed and Dangerous, featuring Casper Loaded.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest tracks I ever made. I wrote that probably 4 to 5 months ago. I had to go ahead and put it to the side because I felt like I wasn't even good enough at producing yet to go ahead and mess with a song like that. I mean, it just, when you make it, when you do something that's real special and you feel like it's not ready to get posted yet because of the weak link being the producing and whatnot, I knew I had to put in more work and get ready. And by the time that the January 11th release date came around, I was ready, and I got my boy from high school, from Lakewood High School, Casper Loaded. That shit is dope. He put on a dope ass feature on it, and I appreciate it.
All right, man. Tell me.
Tell Me was one of those songs that I have recorded with Craven Wolfblood, where me and him just put our emotions into a track about, you know what I mean, the ups and downs and relationship troubles and the frustrations that come with.
Oh yeah, bro, that's dope, man. La vida es buena.
That's a song that I started writing whenever I had met up with this guy named Jonathan, and I had I had Craven Wolfblood in the hold on, homie. Give me a second. Let's just go ahead and skip that shit and go on to the next one.
All right, big dog. All right. So straight to the top.
Yeah, Straight to the Top was inspired by one of these songs that I had heard from Rocket Records, being We Never Stop. That's a little record label from ATL. They're making big moves over there, and they're rocking out similar to how I'm doing it. I kind of look up to them though in a way, as they're a little bit older than me and a little bit more experienced and farther along in the music business. But they've been real supportive and reached out to me and even offered some helpful advice and whatnot. So I definitely rocking with them. Appreciate them. Shout out to Rocket Records out of ATL.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So straight to the top. Man, let's get into this right now, big dog. All right, man. So we just went through your catalog, man, and by the looks of it, dog, you got a lot of content. You got a lot of things going for you, man. You're collabing. You're getting your name out there. Um, you were speaking on music videos earlier, man. So let's go to this subject, man, and talk about the music video process. And man, what are you planning to do this year?
2021, I'm trying to go ahead and have more ownership over the content that I put out. I plan on starting out a podcast called Fuego TV that I will eventually rebrand into TY TV, because that's always been the nickname I've had since I was a super jit, being Ty is short for Tyler. And yeah, the podcast doing interviews with local artists, local to Florida specifically, other live streamers, you know, I mean, even people that play Call of Duty. I mean, if you're in Florida and you put out dope content, I want to have a sit down with you. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and get you on TYTV.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that once a week on Tuesdays, and then I'll be posting one song a week on Thursdays at midnight. And the ownership thing is more of a priority this year as opposed to 2020. Because I really feel like in 2020 the goal was to get respect and to put your name out there and to, you know what I mean, make it to where people have no choice but to respect you as an artist. And I did that. So now you gotta go one step up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out what's next. And what's next is, it don't make a damn bit of difference if you make a hit song if you don't own the beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm focused on now. Owning the beats, owning the interviews that I do in the future, and all that shit that pertains to that.
That's dope, big dog. All right, man. So what songs off of all the songs that you dropped this year? What songs are gonna be filmed, man?
Orlando's got to be one of them. Shaka Zulu is probably going to be the first one to come out. I'm hoping that comes out around February or March. Could be as late as April, but definitely going to get a music video to that sooner than later. And after the first video drops, I don't know how often I'll be dropping visuals, but it's definitely going to be a recurring event in 2021 to see more music videos from the Florida's Finest YouTube page.
All right, man. So hell yeah, man. Have you ever performed live?
No, I've actually never done that. I had a couple invites, but I've never taken it up for one reason or another, either a conflicting schedule or whatever. You know, I still got my full-time job, and so with weekends being the only real available time, and plus, with me being a I guess upcoming artist, if you will, I'm not going to get the best offers. So and for me, I'm not desperate. I believe that if you keep putting in the work and you just focus on the craft, then it'll all take care of itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really trying too hard to get my name out there as much as maybe one would expect. Where I'm just focused on the writing, the lyricism, the mixing and mastering, and the whole process, the hard part. I'm trying to focus on that part. Go ahead and get that down, and then I'll go ahead and, you know what I mean, one thing at a time type shit.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So, bro, since you got all this content going on your YouTube channel, man, if you had enough supporters from your local area, would you set up like a live performance off of YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram?
So the question is, what do I feel like I would get enough support from my local area?
Yeah, if you had enough support to attend your performance on like any live streaming platform like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
I think people would check it out, but I do think that people gravitate towards clown shit more so than like a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
until you really make a masterpiece that's like undebatably like a hit song, I don't think people are really gonna fuck with you like that. Like they might look at you like you going to college to be like a nurse or some shit like that, but they're not gonna look at you like you're like Tupac reincarnated or some shit like that. So it's kind of touchy, but I you know what I mean. But I do feel like I got support in my local area, but it's definitely not an overwhelming support. A lot of my viewership even comes out of the United States, probably around 30% or so. And so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel the love in my city and wherever I go in Florida, but yeah, it's kind of spread out a little bit throughout Florida. I mean, there's a little bit in New York and California viewership wise, but mainly Florida, and it's not really too dominated by my hometown.
Bro, so you're talking about, I mean, like, bro, like, you wouldn't perform super pronto if they had a stage, a PA system, and all that for you.
And then go ahead, broadcast it on Facebook Live and whatnot. I would definitely do it, but yeah, I would definitely do it. That would be my answer for that. I'll go ahead and sum it up and say that for sure. I would.
So tell us about what songs would fit that performance you would perform.
I think you would probably want to start it out with Meadows of My Life. If I had 7 songs or 4, let's go ahead and say 4 songs on the set list. If I had 4, I would choose Meadows of My Life. The second one would be Super Pronto. Third would be Shaka Zulu. And then the fourth one would be That's Okay with my boy Ash. And that right there would just blow the fucking roof off the building.
All right, man. So let me ask you this, man. Future collaboration.
Well, I would say X and Pop Smoke because those are my two favorite artists in 2020 and 2019, or being X and 2020 being Pop. But anyway, they're both dead, so I can't really collaborate with them. But if I could do anybody that was alive or dead, I would pick those two people just based off the fact that they really were my favorite artists, and the fact that they got taken away so tragically at the same age that I was at the time of their passing, even, that, you know what I mean, it just really leaves a hole in your mind and your ear.
All right, big dog. So that was my next question. All right. So who is your music targeted towards, big dog?
I get really just myself. Like, if you want to be technical about it, because I started making music to, like I said, Lil Pump made it look easy, but I really was inspired more so by, like, wanting to do remixes of other people's songs. Like, I would hear somebody do a verse and I would be like, damn, why he had did it that way? Why he didn't just do it like this? And then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. If Lil Pump can do it, why not me? So from there, fucking remind me of your question real quick, big dog. I'm sorry.
You're good, big dog. Who is your music targeted towards? And you said it was you, that you were the reason why you started doing your music.
Yeah, like when you start making a song and you dancing to it and whatnot, obviously you like the song, and I listen to my music a lot, and that's really it. It's got to fit me. If I don't like the song, I know other people might make a song, and if it sells, then that's all they care about. I only really care about if I like the song. I mean, if it sells, that's just like a whipped cream and cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? But if you had to say who it targets, it would target people my age and people older. I'm not really with all the fucking the kid shit, or trying to, like, 13 through 16. I don't get no views from people that age at all, and I would never target that demographic ever.
All right, man.
It's not really something that appeals to me. I like the people that, you know what I mean, have an acquired taste that, you know what I mean, only life experience can give you.
Favorite bar ever wrote in a song?
Oh, my favorite bar, I already know what it is right off the rip. All right, so I made let me make sure I motherfucking remember the song right. I don't want to say the wrong song. All right, yeah, I took a black queen to Barcelona. I had the bar where I say, how can you be the keeper for your mans if Cain isn't able to keep his weight up? Meaning that, where it's really a personal thing, where, you know, Cain and Abel in the Old Testament or the whatever Holy Bible shit. One of the brothers killed the other brother and lied to God about it. Anyway, just the long story short. So anyway, I made the joke, or the play off of that story, being that how can you be the key? How can I? Because, yeah, I believe, I'll probably get this mixed up, but it was probably, I think it was Cain that killed Abel, and then Cain asked God. He said, "What, am I supposed to be my brother's keeper?" or some shit like that. So I say, how can you be the keeper for your man if Cain isn't able to keep his weight up? So using like a double entendre on the name and or word Abel, and I'm basically reflecting on my childhood, where the people that you grow up with, they, you know what I mean? Like, you can try to help them go the right way, but you can only do so much. Where you got to respect another man's choice to not want to do what you want to do. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even if they've previously implied or directly said that they wanted to, you know what I'm saying? You still got to accept that and move on and whatnot. So it's basically just a play off of that.
Hell yeah, big dog. All right. All right, man. So what are your music guilty pleasures, big dog?
Like something that I listen to that I like you might not like repost on your Facebook page because you don't.
Yeah.
All right, I would say Billie Eilish, Miley Cyrus, and then some. I like a lot of those like old time singer guys like Ernie Ford and shit like yeah, just Ray Charles. I mean, but that's not really so much as much of a guilty pleasure as a Miley Cyrus would be for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not something that is too relevant now, or that too many people would even know what you're talking about.
All right, man. Hell yeah. So, man, we already talked about Florida drill, and then you get in with Craven, and you guys doing some rock, man. Um, what can we what can we expect this year, bro?
A lot more Florida drill. I'm gonna go ahead and put the stamp on that and claim ownership of starting that wave. And I'm gonna from there just keep doing what I've been doing the whole time. Really, making the blending rock with rap and old school hip hop and maybe even a little bit of pop. You know what I'm saying? But just gonna keep doing my thing and blending the genres the way that I do.
That's dope, big dog. All right. So, we talked about what you do outside of music. You're a heavy equipment operator, bro. So besides that, man, do you have any hobbies?
Play basketball a lot and I play video games. Like I've been playing NBA 2K21 a little bit lately, or I've been going back on GTA 4, playing some of that shit, and just fucking off. Really, I just had some surgery, some teeth work done, got my grill fixed up, so I've been kind of laying up, taking it easy the last couple weeks, 3, 4, and yeah, that's what I've really been waiting on to do the music videos or whatnot. Just wanted to get my shit right. So that's what you know what I mean, that's what's coming up for me right now.
All right, man. So that song, "Gold in My Teeth," is no cap, right?
No, it's definitely no cap, man. I definitely want to put gold in my teeth, but I'm not there yet. But you know, I mean, I'm from Florida. That it's just the Florida thing, I guess. I mean, I've always wanted to get a gold grill. You know what I'm saying? Something that you could pop in or take out. I wanted to get gold implants, but that shit's too expensive. I'll be honest with you. But maybe one day, maybe after that music video for Shaka Zulu drops, maybe I'll be able to do it then.
Shaka Zulu, hell yeah. So you expecting to promote this on World Star, man?
Well, I actually looked into that a little bit. I think it costs like 2,000 to get a video posted on there. That I mean, I thought about it. I mean, would you post 2,000 to get it on World Star? I would say so. I would say yes, but not right now. But over the course of 2021, perhaps I'm definitely gonna put some money behind promotion though. But if I get a dope music video for Shaka Zulu, I'm gonna try to do a payment plan or some shit for World Star. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get on that shit.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope, man. So what are the goals in 2021 right now, man?
Just,
Besides
just
besides cross genre.
no, it's just ownership. I mean, it just to go ahead and every single thing I've ever done besides the beats that I made myself were off of the free beats from YouTube. So you want to graduate from that as soon as possible and start owning your content. I would imagine, or at least that's my goal. So yeah, that's really what I'm focused on at this point.
All right, man. So what is the best advice you have been given?
Best advice I've been given. I give it to my grandpa were, and I even quoted him in a song, being hold on, I'm trying to remember the song.
Take your time, dog.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember the song, but I'll go ahead and hop back in on that. My favorite quote or my favorite advice that was ever given to me, I even put in a song. It was when my grandfather told me that you got two ears and one mouth, because you should listen twice as much as you speak. And yeah, that's had a good impact on my life, knowing that, what I mean, you got to take advantage of being young while you can, because if you're 40 years old and you're asking what an EQ is, you're gonna look like a fucking retard. But if you're 19 years old asking about an EQ, people tend to be a little bit more forgiving and patient with you, I would imagine. I mean, I've never been 40 years old before, but I just, from what I see online and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? When you see people that, I mean, they don't even ask the right questions, it seems like, because they're not even putting in the time to even research enough to even know how to ask the right questions. So I don't know, man. That's pretty much all I could say about that.
All right, man. Would you use your grandpa's advice, the exact wording, to any upcoming artist or producer in your local area?
Would I attach that advice to anybody?
Yeah. Would you pass it on?
No, I would not. I don't have nobody in mind, at least, that whenever it comes to that.
So what would you say to any upcoming artist or producer that's in your local area that's trying to do music like you, man?
I would just say to either keep doing it yourself and keep believing in yourself, or to hit me up on Facebook or on A6 Productions FF at gmail.com. Hit me up an email, and you can go ahead and send me your stem packs, and I'll give you a free quote on mixing and mastering, and I'll even show you every step of the way. I'll pass off the information I have on to you. And the main thing to keep falling back on whenever it comes to progression and to keep getting better is that two brains is better than one. I mean, that's something simple, and that if it sounds dope, then it is dope. That was a piece of advice that's been very impactful for me. That was from Thomas Swanson from, Swan Beats, as I previously mentioned. If it's dope, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes the simple answer is the best one. But whenever, to get back on the advice for other artists in the area, I would say just keep doing your thing, or hit me up. I'll teach you everything I know. And it's just off the love of the music, man. I'll do it for free. I mean, it ain't nothing for me to go ahead and show somebody what I know. It won't take but 30 seconds. Maybe I'll even make a YouTube video explaining and doing a tutorial if enough people show interest and wanting to know how I do it.
All right, man. That's dope, man. So leading to the last question, big dog, how is your music going to evolve from here?
Well, how would my music evolve? I would just say to keep getting better, and I am mindful of the fact that I am young, and that as I grow older I will mature, and the sounds might be different. Like, I might not rap about when I hit my first lick whenever I'm 36 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I am mindful of that, and I am trying to take advantage of my youth while I have it. And when I get older, I would imagine that it's more timeless music and less so specific to what's going on in my area of Central Florida.
Special shout out.
Special shout out to Thomas Swanson, Swan Beats, Florida's Finest, A6 Productions, Ashley Ray, Absurd, Turntable Records, Rocket Records. There's definitely more people than I can name that have helped me to get where I'm at, inspired me, and continue to do so to this day, even.
All right, dog. Go ahead and plug in all your social media, your website, all that good stuff, dog.
Yeah, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Fuego _ Florida _ finest. YouTube at Tyler Morrison, Florida's Finest. You can go ahead and subscribe to my 2 different channels on there. One is for the podcast, TYTV, and the other one would be for exclusively for the music of me and the upcoming artists in the area. And in terms of socials, that's all I got. You could also follow me on Facebook if you really wanted to, but YouTube is going to be where the majority of the content gets posted from here on out until I get my own website kicking over. That's the plan for next year. But yeah, man. Hey, I really appreciate you getting me on here, man. And like I said, man, I'm going to continue to follow and check out what you got going on. Thanks again. And I hope you have a good night, man.
Yeah, man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Fuego. This is Strictly for the Music Podcast.